Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark are champions! Good on Pepe! Goal!
It doesn't get any better than that!
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game in Frame. Welcome to the first game in the Cosmopolitan First Division, a brand new season of this ever melodramatic season and league that we are so too accustomed to at Game in Frame. We wish the best to everyone with health, happiness, and lots of football here live on Game in Frame. The first game on question today on this rainy Saturday night is Sandzak taking on Block FC. Let's begin with Sandzak, who hoped to start the season off strong. They finished third last season, 4 points behind the champions of the division, Polonia, a team full of mavericks. Always an exciting watch to watch them play. They will be sporting their white kit, blue shorts, white socks. On the other hand, Block FC, the champions of the second division last year, and of course going up in division with an impressive record of 13 wins, 3 losses, en route to the title and of course promotion. So too their reserve side also won the cup. So a very successful year last year for Block FC. How will they fare in the first division is the question on our hands today. They certainly have the momentum and a talented roster to boost. Always, the Cosmopolitan First Division promises thrill and scintillating watches. It all begins here at Randall's Island. Of course, guys, as the rain just starts trickling down, it's gonna be a very big game here for these two sides. Sandzak having a couple of absentees, shall we say, possibly returning in maybe the next game, but they certainly have a stellar roster on their hands. Sabovic at center back, Danilo Nifkovic in the goal, amongst a couple names to watch out for. Chalebi looks like he will lead the line today for Sandzak in the absence of Martin Dekanovic, the other center forward that Sandzak has on their roster. And we're off underway here at Randall's Island. Field number 74, a late change to the field. Actually, it was supposed to be on field 70, but due to some events, actually last night the field was located in this pitch here on 74 as the ball goes over the top. The first action and bit of work for Danilo Nifkovic to attend to, and the Montenegrin will collect the ball comfortably. Of course, a slick pitch. It just started raining minutes before kickoff, actually. The two reserve sides featured in a match free of rain, but ball will go back to the fullback, who's pressed by Chalebi, and yields a free kick. Krstanovic will line up in the middle of midfield next to actually new signing El Kadmir with the number 32, something to keep an eye out on. Sabovic wearing the number 9, playing in the number 10 role. Little toe poke out to Krstanovic. Sabovic cushions nicely to Yasir. Ball into the space. And all the way back for Jangana's first touch in the Block FC goal. Jangana in the goal. It's seemingly looking like they're playing a bit of a 4-4-2 if you'd like, but still early, of course, in the game to assess the formations. Sandzak with their ideal 4-2-3-1/4-3-3, of course, with a lot of rotation as a free kick just above the halfway line. Flung into the box, off the chest, some pressure there by the center forward for Block FC, Tambadou. Conte just trying to keep his line as further up as possible towards Chalebi. Conte has a word with his fellow defender just to knock it back to goalkeeper Jangana. Here is centre back Conte forcing the fullback just to stretch a little bit. Doucouré service, crossfield, first ball, one. And cleared out into touch. Flung in a couple of high boots. An athletic one there to retain the possession. Great link-up play. And couldn't locate Matthew Heze, who's stationed off that left wing. Very dangerous player, as we saw last year, with his speed and acceleration off the left flank today for Coach Murat. Knocking it back to Danilo Nivkovic, and around Sandzak go Murat. Believe a new signing, partnering with Sabovic in the middle of the defense today. Here is Heze. Lovely weight of pass. The flag is down. Goalkeeper off his line. Skews it a bit, but finds his teammate. Chalebi can trigger the press now. And back it'll go with Jangana. Jangana to Doucouré. Doucouré from a right full back, just assessing and playing a square ball to Danso, who's split between the center backs. Danso lifts, Murat underneath it. Boštanović, lovely control. Gets a bit of a whop and a free kick. Here is Yassir from left fullback. Another very versatile player. Danilo Nivkovic lifts it to Chalebi. Sabovic on the press. And back it'll go to goalkeeper Dangana. Block really trying this left side in the first moments here in this match. Of course, it's always very important to begin the year with a win, given that it is the first game in this very young, embryonic season. Whoever wins today will be top of the table for the night, so to a tie as well, but that's my point. Whilst the other teams will feature in tomorrow's action here live on Game and Frame. Boštanović flicked, most touch to Sabovic, who lifts neatly. Matthew Heze, risen flag, offside. Block will try to play through the left-hand side again. Spinning his man well, but Murat coming with a thick challenge and a clean one to knock the ball out of play for a goal throw-in. Excuse me. 9 minutes in. First 9 minutes of this Cosmopolitan 25-26 season between two sides who certainly have high aspirations. In the driving rain, a little nibble around the corner, top of the box, bypassing Sabovic and eventually taking a shot, but getting the wrong contact, if you like, with the boot and skewing it out of play for a goal kick. Sabovic. Back to Murat, who has a little trouble with the touch, but get it out of danger. Possibly a handball, indeed so. Lifted towards the rapid winger from the left-hand side. Here he is, Heze. Jinking and swerving onto the left foot, but good defending on that right-hand side by Block FC. Certainly driving rain now. And difficult really just to assess the weight of the pass. Here's a loose one, forcing the ball in quite dangerous quadrant for Block. Eventually lifted towards the centre-back who will control. Over the top, Yassir has to be careful. Did well to force his man a bit wide, but the reward for Block FC is a corner kick. Good transition from back to front. Block FC will have a corner kick delivered with a right-footed outswing. Sandzak leaving two elevated. Served in towards a penalty spot. The heads go up. Needs a clearance. It gets a clearance. First ball won by Block FC. They can try to reload the area, but Chalebi is there. Has the presence of mind just to relax the situation. Finds Hrustanovic. Or Kalenovic, excuse me. Great touch by Heze. Hrustanovic did well in that situation, so too his teammates. Teased into the second post. Goalkeeper elected to stay at home, but surface glancing off the head for a goal kick. Couple of absentees. Let's just see the situation first. As Yassir Nifkovic doing the clever thing just to extend himself a little bit out of his area to find his clearance. Get back to the theme in question a second, as the ball is about overhit but kept in and eventually knocked out for a throw-in. Kalanovic's last touch. Couple of absentees for Sandzak today. Dekanovic, like we mentioned in the pre-match. Diombera and Makic, Kirkic as well. So had to do some rotation, if you'd like, on this first game of the season. We certainly have a lot of quality to present themselves. So too, a couple new signings here. One of them, number 32, trying to press the ball. Flung in, and easy pickings for Nivkovic. Nivkovic, and a very established and experienced goalkeeper, knows just when to raise and or slow down the tempo. Let his team just drive up the pitch, and played a long clearance towards Chalebi, who's asking a question of the goalkeeper, who has good footwork to play to the fullback. Over the top, Yassir on the cover. It's going to bounce in the area, but trickle out for another goal kick. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more Game and Frame action tomorrow. Polonia SC, the champions of the division, will take on Manhattan Kickers at 12 p.m. Cosmopolitan First Division. Hoboken SC will take on Leros SC at 4 p.m. The newly promoted team in the APSL. Let's just see this action first, as appeals for a handball. It's cut back. Chalebi's on the far post. Kalenovic teases it into Hrstenovic, who got a clean, possibly off his shin pad, didn't get it so clean. The ball was certainly a teasing one, but a good chance there for Sandzak to open the scoring. Let's just conclude with New York International taking on SC Vestula Garfield, APSL Metropolitan Conference, 4 p.m. kickoff there. And finally, Zoom Schneider taking on the champions of the APSL Metropolitan Conference, the Pancyprian Freedoms, at 7:30 p.m. All that live here on Game and Frame. The focus is here tonight, however, as Block FC and Sandzak battle it out for the first points of this young season. Nivkovic, comfortable again. Ball into the space. Great sliding challenge by Murat. Good control with the chest. Again, the advancing fullback, who's been up and down on that line, serving a teasing one in, a quickly risen flag. But a good service towards his center forward, Tambadou. Nivkovic will play out of the back. Sabovic back to his goalkeeper. There's a bit of a press on, but clever footwork from Nivkovic to play it to his fullback first time. Matthew Heze. Chalebi, industrious, and does very well to win his side a throw-in. So there's a bit of an issue for a defender for Block FC, if I can judge him correct. He just sat down a bit, but luckily enough he pops right back on his feet. So Good news for Black FC not to make a enforced change so early on in the match. Matthew Heze will fling it in there vertically. The heads went up. Back to Heze. Steps onto the left foot. Getting a service in and deflected out for a throw-in. Constant communication from Coach Hart to his captain, Haris Sabovic. It's served in towards Mirza Sabovic. Appeals for a offside, but it's going to be a corner kick in the end. The last touch came off a Black FC head. Can Sandzak appeal from this dead ball? El Kadmir is in the area waiting for Matthew has a service. Possibly tries to take a shot there, but the lines will drop back in. So lifts. Tambadou leaves. No free kick given there. Trying to articulate the football now with So. This throw-in is given for Black FC. Flung in again vertically. Yassir underneath it. A couple of heads and possibly an arm. Hacked away. Conte will cushion to Jangana. And back with Conte. Tukureo is an option. Danso in the middle of midfield, just raising the lines here. Off his shoulder. Sabovic will clear. Chalebi trying to spin his man. Chalebi lengthening his stride and has an opportunity just to wait for some service or supply from teammates. Free kick. Conte, who is another set piece for Sandzak. Flicked in, the captain flicks it cleverly. Flag is down. Sabovic. Goalkeeper applied knuckles to it at his first post. Yassir. Another appeal. No flag from the linesman. An opportunity for Black FC just to transition there. But Tambadou wanted to go to the side that he was facing. Had a runner behind him on his back shoulder. Bostanovic has to be a bit careful in the midfield. Couple runners now. And it's cleverly cut out. Good transition defense from Sandzak again. Sandzak, in which a team last year asking plenty of questions, finished, like we mentioned, in the top four. Let's just see this action first. A low ball, need away for corner kick. Sandzak, of course, So too Block FC, I would gather, having ambitions of finishing in the top 4 and finding themselves in a playoff spot. Of course, we have a very long, grueling season ahead, but so far the implications read that both of these sides certainly have loads of quality in their deck of cards. Served in, goes up, and that a play for a goal kick. 22 minutes gone. We remain at 0-0. Stepped on the ball. Levy's offside. Good line from the back 4, especially Chunkara at right full back, who just as that ball was played, stepped up, as he was the last line in that instance, but clear offside. Sabovic goes out to the fullback who's advancing. Service, and could have possibly left it there, but didn't want to take any risks as Matthew Heze was lurking at the back post. Corner kick for Sandzak. As Kalenovic, who served the last ball into the box, just got a little hand slap from his captain, who's making his way into a very loaded area. Served in with in-whip underneath the goalkeeper, who has to again apply knuckles. Possibly a very smart decision in these wet conditions. There's a yellow card. Conte can load the area with his service. That he does, high into the night sky. An acrobatic little pass, if you'd like. Murat. Nivkovic. Doucouré evades one. Doucouré still. Danso. Shot. And out of play, but again, decent pressure high up the pitch from Block FC. The pressure led to an effort from Fofana, but nothing too discomforting for Nivkovic. A couple of half chances. That's a little loose, but cleaned up well. Chalebi. Corner kick. Once again, very good advancement of fullback on this near hand side, both the right fullback for Sandzak and to the left fullback for Block FC have certainly been advancing. Bit of a tactical game of chess here on this near hand side, but the fullback for Sandzak, who's just sliding into position and leaving the dead ball to Stanovic to take his service, possibly something from the training ground. Hoiked away. Excuse me. Tambadou. And possibly another yellow card. Stopping the transition. Again, they'll load the area. Bounce is a bit tricky to deal with. Done so in the end. Dukure's touch. Referee just had a quick word for Danso, who does well to control and just play out a play. And here's Asabovic, lovely weight of pass. Chelebi driving into the box. Chelebi's low service. Goalkeeper has to go with his feet to intercept, almost like a defender there, but did well enough. Great high pressure. Here is Mirza Sabovic. Sabovic unfortunately runs out of pitch after a couple of step overs and a bit of contact that he was on his to stay up on his feet. Changana. Of course, something too that we didn't mention. There's a lovely slide tackle there. And a third yellow card for the match. The first for Block FC. Something that we didn't mention, of course, as it is the first game of the season. How are the fitness levels of these two sides? We'll see in due course, obviously, but a very intense game so far. A lot of back and forth, a lot of transition moments in which can just help you out a touch more in these situations if you have a right match fitness to yourself. So far, so good from both sides. They certainly have, I assume, trained a couple of times in preparation for this very important first game after a summer off. First games are certainly always tricky. Danso on the turn. Fofana and so ahead. Fofana just dropping into the pocket now as the ball is floated in towards center forward. Tambadou. Tambadou across the box. Captain's header. Clearance. Had a play for a throw-in. Into the box. Chelebi. Danso, a bit of pinball. Needs some composure. Exactly with that flick. Murat. High pressure from Block FC. Tambadou. Dukure stretching, retaining, but slipping. Unfortunately for him, goal kick for Nivkovic, who just wants to play urgently now as he spots the fullback out of position, and that's exactly where they played the ball, into the space. Chalebi using his body, going over, no free kick. Cushion, Danso, great high line from Sandzak as the centre forward trickled in an offside position. Danso clever enough to rotate the ball. They did rotate it to the far hand side now. Yasir just forcing his man back. First time service is a bit mishit, and Haris Sabovic will have a maraud from centre back, loses the ball. Sandzak needs to defend now. Great piece of work. The two Sabovic is linking. The centre back will play a ball into the space. Offside. It's certainly back and forth. It's hectic at the moment. No whistle as Murat flung over the top, bouncing into the area. Murat using his body, and exemplary bit of defending there from Murat. Sabovic tries to flick it first time to Chalebi. Of course, today's Game and Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobax, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer groups, Petrobax gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams in the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobax.com and start planning your dream trip today. About 11 minutes till the break, as we still remain at zeros after half an hour of and change of football. A couple of half chances for either side. Goalkeepers really overworked as Dangana had a couple of crosses to deal with. Centre back has gone over to Coyle, one up into the box. Conte slips out of his hands. It's a live ball as made the motion, wasn't a foul throw. It's crossed in, hacked into the air. It's gonna need dealing with. That a play for Nivkovic. Goal kick. Murat, Mirza Sabovic crossing it into a non-vacated penalty area. Jangana thumps it, Murat underneath it. Jaite was there discomforting the number 6 for Sandzak. Into the space for Hazet. But again, a slick surface. Just need a bit of care with that final ball, the final product, as we say, in the final third. It's certainly always important, but in conditions like this, just a bit more care and caress on the final ball. Here's a good little reverse pass into the area. It's cut back and out of play. Another football is needed. Mivkovic will clear lines. Towards Heze. Controls, waiting for an overlap, feeling some contact, but throw in for Sandzak. Cry from the defender for his keeper to come out and collect, in which he did. And will put his foot through it. Yes, Sear winning the first ball. Evading Sol. Kalenovic. Conte has to assort his feet and find his fullback, who's asking for a bit of movement. Doucouré. Smart there not to go into the challenge as he was on a yellow. Sabovic. Free kick. Lovely work from the captain. About 5 or 6 minutes left in this first half. Mivkovic. Trickle to Chalebi. Conte. El Kadmir. Sliding challenge. Doucouré with his weak foot. Certainly got a good contact on it. Chalebi going around the linesman. Following Conte. Doucouré again, cross field. Heze was below Yassir, who won the first ball. El Kadmir dispossessed. Back with Conte. Good bit of work from Danso to win the ball back for his side. Fofana to the right fullback. Tunkara. Left by Tunkara. Cross field. Again to the very adventurous fullback. Thick challenge there. Ball's awkwardly bouncing. Shaw got a nibble, got a second nibble, but dispossessed. Dropping his shoulder neatly is Kalenovic. Dropping his other shoulder and finding his captain to just keep a hold of the ball. It's onside, Matthew Heze. But unfortunately, we'll hear the whistle. Certainly big moments here in the last embers of this first half. As we know very well in football, a goal before the half is what we call all the money for a psychological boost. If one of these two sides can find the goal before the referee's halftime whistle, certainly they will have a psychological boost entering the second half. Of course, a lot of football left. A lot can happen in minutes, seconds in football. We have 4 or so minutes left in this first half and 45 more in the second. But of course, the theme of the game is two very hard-working sides asking questions, and Conte has to lengthen his stride to get there. Centre back showing his pace and agility there. Fofana dropping between the lines is So. Number 10 will find his fullback who's inverting. The other fullback has stretched the pitch, allowing this man to roam into the green grass ahead. Will rotate. Lovely triangle. Doucouré will serve it to the second post. A header comes in. Nivkovic scrambles and gets up to find the second ball. Good save from Nivkovic, and needed his defender just to get his foot across to repel the danger. Possibly the biggest chance of the match, falling a minute or so before the halftime whistle. Certainly not an easy ball for the goalkeeper there. Wet pitch and clearly offside. As Nivkovic will not risk, and cleared his lines regardless. Towards Sabovic. Mirza Sabovic in the area, dueling with a couple defenders. Needs a clearance, it gets a half one. Great press from Heze, but spun neatly. And another correct placement of the last line of defense for Sandzak. Loaded, and Jangana will let it bobble out for a goal kick. See if and how much at a time we will have. Not really any stoppages in this first half. It's certainly been a flowing game of football. There's Mirza Sabovic. Sabovic appeals for a corner kick. Not given. What is given, however, is the halftime whistle here at Randall's Island. The half of no goals, but certainly huff and puff from both sides. A very intense match so far between Sandzak and Block FC. At halftime here at Randall's Island Field, 74, Sandzak 0, Block FC 0.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. Helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together. And I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
False start. As now we go. Second half kickoff here at Randall's Island Field. 74. Sandzak and Block FC deadlocked at zeros. An opportunity. Bouncing in the box. Doucouré. Again, the fullback making his way into advancing positions. Doucouré's shot down the chest of Nivkovic, who positioned himself well. Good beginning in the second half. A substitution as well for Sandzak at the interval. Ahmed with the number 22 has entered. Yassir Ahmed. An opportunity for Block FC. It's laid to the top of the box and hacked off the shins of Yassir. Let's just see how Sandzak will come out in the second half. Have a throw in to defend, possibly a long one at that. It's flung in vertically again, cleared away. Here's a substitute. Cross field. Nivkovic. Underneath it. Kalenovic. So the rain is slowly starting to dwindle, which might be good for both sides. Clever weight of pass, but good intervention from the center back. Doucouré. Yassir, thick challenge and a clean one at that. Here's Matthew Heze. Has runners left and right. Heze driving, bypassing one, serving low. Chelebi. Tambadou heads it down neatly. Spread to the fullback who has some space ahead, but wants to check back. First time. Clever cushion from Zaite. Fall. Excuse me. The fullback in the first half will get to this instance in a moment, as it's just too thick for the stretching Zaite to apply a finishing contact. Apologies for a little mix-up in the first half. Doucouré actually at right fullback now, and Fall at the left fullback with the number 20. Fall, who was certainly up and down on this left-hand side in the first half. Did the same in the first minutes in the second. And got a shot off towards Nivkovic's goal. So apologies for that. A little bit of risk, but Yassir will do very well to win aside a free kick. Savovic to Savovic. Yassir towards Yassir. Ahmed. There is Ahmed driving. Finding Chelebi. Chelebi to the second post. Matthew Heze bobbling over But a good chance for Sandzak as Heze flung himself towards the ball. And his shot ricocheted off the slick pitch and over Jangana's post. Sabovic clears. Fofana. Doucouré is offside. Sabovic could have possibly turned. Free kick. As the substitution for Luck FC, Fofana, who was a very important piece in that midfield, applauded off, and let's just see who entered the pitch. Chawali with the number 6 replacing Fofana. Athletic, more so. A couple of athletic attempts there, one to clear and one to possibly hook it in a dangerous area, but it found Nivkovic, who cleared long. Yasir Ahmed, Sabovic has to be careful. Murat, as they just asking for a little bit quicker tempo in those situations. Certainly he's always a threat in the space, in the channel if you'd like. Coach Hart imploring his side to raise the levels and the energy. As, like we mentioned, the rain has free kick there. And it's just dampened down to a drizzle, which can favor both of these sides. Certainly still, the pitch is certainly slick. So like we mentioned in the first half, the final ball, the final product, who can be the point of difference here in this game that is thirsting for a goal. Towards Chalebi, athletically up, was fall. Another free kick in a similar location. Different type of service there. Try a clever one towards Chalebi. Block in transition. Jaite. Danilo Nivkovic. Smart positioning. And clears his lines. Great starting position from Montenegrin shot stopper. It'll go to him. Sabovic, Tunkara underneath it. Medyasir dispossessed. Little slip there. Was it a foul? No is the answer. Fall, who has been everywhere in this game, has to be said. Up and down in the wing, inverting at times like he did there. Sabovic Chelebi has a couple runners beside him to the left-hand side. Try to nibble it towards Matthew Heze. Here is Heze, low ball. Chelebi. Good defending in the end on the half turn. Here's Danso. Danso dancing away from his man, but his pass overhit. Lovely way to pass. But again, the wet pitch may be there. The idea was neat from Sabovic. Back to Jangana. Conte. Backside. Chelebi goes to ground, good advantage, but he'll bring it back. Goalkeeper coming out and collecting. As they finds Yasir. Steps on the ball and wants to go back to Nivkovic. Over the top to Heze. He'll stretch his legs as much as he can, retains the ball. Sabovic. Pressing the goalkeeper. Tunkara. So first time. Trying the left hand side. Towards Jaite. Wants a first time effort. Raises his hand and gives a thumbs up for the service. Difficult one to create a lot of purchase there with a header. Ahmed Yassir to Yassir. Good press from Jaite. Free kick for Block FC. Be delivered by So. Referee's whistle. So's service. Needs a second clearance. Chawali the substitute. Back to Tunkara. Turn was a cry, but Chawali doing the right thing possibly and finding a teammate. Again off that left hand side. Served in. Nivkovic applies knuckles. Tukure. Jumps off a knee. First set piece. So again to deliver. Did it go out? No, is the answer. It's awkward. And Nefkovic also was there to collect the second ball. Wants to play early to Heze. Tunkara takes. 61 minutes gone. Still we remain at 0. Out of play. Mivkovic goal kick. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more Game and Frame action. Tomorrow, live on Game and Frame, Polonia SC will take on Manhattan Kickers at 12 p.m. in this Cosmopolitan First Division. Hoboken will take on Leros at 4 p.m. APSL Metropolitan Conference. So to New York International first. SC Vistula Garfield also at 4 p.m. Another APSL Metropolitan Conference matchup. And finally, at the 7:30, New York Pan Cyprians will take on Zoom Schneider at Roosevelt Island. Feel free to tune into those matches live on Game and Frame tomorrow as Sandzak is pressing high. Wiley coming deep between the lines to pick up the possession. Tunkara asks for the ball and receives. Here is Tunkara. Asking for some movement. Step on the ball. Finds Chawali, who goes back. First time back to the substitute. With the shoulder. Sabovic was back to defend. Danso stepping on the ball, filtering it to the left-hand side. False service. Sabovic off show. A lashing effort over the bar. I believe Sandzak are preparing a substitution. As Yasir Ahmed is replaced by Markovic. Markovic, who featured in the reserve game previously. Just having a little limber up as he's asked to play possibly in the number 10 role. Zaite early. Some space for Fall. Stanovic is trying to stand him up. Fall serves it with his weak foot. Good elevation and a snapping header, but not enough purchase to beat Nifkovic, who will bowl it out. Stretching his teammate, but allowing Chalebi to chase. And back to goalkeeper Jangana. Chalebi, good work. Sabovic, Markovic almost latched onto it as a sprawling toe there from the defender that had fell over, but a good intervention. As we've seen time and time again in certain matches in this Cosmopolitan First Division, full of quality, full of ambition, full of intensity. Just possibly one final product, one bit of a point of difference, if you'd like, to retain all the 3 points. Maybe it's a lining like this here as a free kick for some contact on Mirza Sabovic. Couple players actually hunched over now. We mentioned it in the first half. We'll mention it again. Possibly the fitness levels, obviously. First game of the season. Have to slowly build your fitness and your endurance, but it's about maximizing every run, every set piece, and to do it with precise care. Here is an opportunity for Sandzak to justify that. Haris Sabovic. Sabovic wobbling! Immaculate by Sabovic! That is delicious! Immaculate in its construction. It wobbled and weaved all over the place. And Sandzak hit the front. A glimpse of goal, and he maximized. Nivkovic has run the length of the pitch to congratulate his captain. That ball was moving all over the place from a very far distance. Sabovic showed that moment of quality. How can Block FC now riposte? So didn't fall to show as Conte, clever back heel to keep it in, more so cleverly done by Fall. Tunkara will leave it and play a little 1-2 with his centre back. Tunkara has it. Lovely touch, possibly the first one of the match for Markovic. Markovic, who also played in a couple of games last year for the first team. And scored a goal, I believe, a very important one at that. So a good option to throw in off the bench for Sandzak, who now have the lead after a delicately taken, rasping free kick from their captain. Markovic to Heze. It's a little bit of calm. Player down as the offside flag is risen. As gonna have a stoppage. Referee just indicated the watch. Possibly a bit of cramp, as today's Game and Frame broadcast is brought to you by Petrobras, your gateway to Spain and Portugal. From unforgettable vacations to exclusive soccer group trips, Petrobras gets you closer to the action, the culture, and the biggest teams in the Iberian Peninsula. Visit petrobras.com and start planning your dream trip today. Markovic, Celebi. About 20 minutes left. Plus whatever man in the middle wants to add on. Sandzak have hit the front. Sandzak have scored the first goal in this Cosmopolitan first division season, and a glorious one at that. A fitting way to begin our season here. But Block FC are certainly dangerous in their own front. An opportunity for Block FC. Fall delayed. It falls to Chawali round the corner. A shot. Nifkovic down low, and most importantly with no spillage. Shot coming in from the number 10, Sao. Got a good clean contact on it. Sabovic trying to find the second ball. Free kick is given, however, for an infringement, for a handball. Clipped over the top to Celebi, who's certainly not afraid to work in that space. Center forward has dragged himself out to the wing, serves it, and with 2 attempts, Jangana will collect, get his team up the pitch to roll it out to his center back. Furthermore, back to him towards Tunkara. So, Tunkara. Sabovic intercepts. Kamara just closing one line so Sabovic couldn't play a line splitting pass. Kristanovic wins the applause and a throw-in. Certainly a buoyant bench for Sandzak after that miraculous, worldy first game of the season, possibly a goal of the month contender, question mark. I'll leave that at that, but certainly the importance for Sandzak was to find that moment of brilliance to beat Jangana, and that's exactly what the captain did. A captain's contribution from Sabovic. Block FC now in the attack. Tunkara's pass dispossessed by Heze. Sabovic first time. Celebi's movement is clever. The way to pass a little too weak, however, to find Markovic, who spun beyond Celebi into the space. No nonsense clearance can lead into a very dangerous situation, as again the work ethic is incredible from Celebi, and a yellow card for Conte. About 15 minutes left in this match. 15 minutes for Sandzak to possibly find the second one to feel a little bit more comfortable, and or show Block FC to find an equalizer. Certainly been asking questions. They have to defend this dead ball, however, first. Sabovic, it's two! It's delicate! An artful delivery, stabbed home by Mirza Sabovic, doubling Sandzak's lead. And a little bit more comfort now. Just as we said that the second goal was of vital importance for either side, obviously so. Sandzak find their second, a stabbed finish, beating Jangana. And Sandzak have their second. Wague has also entered as a replacement on this right-hand side. Like I've seen now, certainly have to possibly risk a bit more, throw some numbers up the pitch, and at least try and find one to have a grandstand finish. They've certainly been very dangerous throughout the whole game, and have asked a question or two of that Sandzak defense so far has been unbreached. But one goal can really put the pressure back on Sandzak. Can they find the third, however, is a question in this instance, as Chalebi continuing his running again. Free kick given. Again, sprinting after every ball. The Sabovics have scored both goals for Sandzak. Captain Harris and centre forward Mirza. They have some defending to do here. Danso dancing away again. Heze back to defend industriously so. It's a little hand slap from Yasir. They have to defend the dead ball. Nivkovic judging and assorting his defenders. Substitute will deliver. Trickled out of play, but the flag will force the referee to blow his whistle, and after some discussion, Yasir will float it. Chalebi's offside, but now he can press. 10 minutes left in this match. Chalebi finds a score of the second goal. His pass is a little loose. Heze will cushion it to Yasir. Furthermore to Sabovic, who has to play back to his goalkeeper. Calm footwork again from Nivkovic. Yasir. Free kick. Yasir lifts to Markovic. Beaten to it. Babalov. Fault again from left full back. Control with the hip. Free kick for Block FC. Murat cut across the ball, but was adjudged to foul his man. An opportunity for Block FC to find a goal that will put them in a position to ask a final question. Sandzak have to defend this set piece. Have everyone behind the ball. Nivkovic constructs a two-man wall. A left-footed option and a right-footed option for Block FC. Fall with the dummy. Cross, Tunkara. Some clever footwork on the top of the box in tight quadrants. So go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Changana, instead of loading, will find his teammate as Sandzak's lines. Understandably so are back in, playing a low block and forcing Block FC to try to weave around rather some tight spaces. Cleared into the misty sky. Nodded back. Only one man up for Sandzak. Tunkara asks and receives the ball. Again, just asking for some movement. Here is some space, however, for Danso. Teases one in. Flag is down. Now it's risen. Saw it from the corner of my eye as Tambadou was ready to unleash a strike. The flag went up to spoil that attack for Block FC. Nivkovic, of course, experienced goalkeeper that he is, will take his time and let his team go up the pitch. A line drive kick from one goalkeeper to the other. 84 minutes gone. Sandzak 2-0 to the good. Clever movement, clever pass. On the top of the box, a clearance from the center back. Murat and Sabovic alongside the other defenders, Rustanovic and Yasir, have done a good job at quelling the danger. So to Nivkovic in the goal. Still some defending to do. Reverse pass. Hoyt towards Chelebi, who really hasn't stopped running the whole game, has to be said. His fitness level and certainly intensity has been exemplary. Just reaching over and grabbing his calf now. Block FC continuing their probe forward. Possibly a 1-2 opportunity. Yasir gets a toe on it. Matthew Hezek can drive away with it. A double deflection will be comfortable for Nivkovic to chew some clock and again let his team get a breather before he pumps it towards the halfway line. 5 minutes left in this dramatic first game. At halftime, scores were deadlocked at 0, both sides huffed and puffed, really tried different things, set pieces, transition moments. Let's see this action first as Yassir coming across, and a late challenge there. Referee quickly brandished the yellow card. As in the first half, both teams, like we mentioned, huffed and puffed and tried to find the first goal. The first goal came from the captain for Sandzak after an exemplary free kick from a very far distance, beating Jangana, and Sandzak second coming from Mirza Sabovic after a delicately taken set piece and a one-time finish with possibly the toe or the studs. This is how we enter the last minutes in this first game in this Cosmopolitan First Division. Like if she still has time to just push men forward and at least try and find one. Fall, who's been very impressive the whole game, will load it to the area. Yassir underneath it. Hacked away, he's below the halfway line, but with the chest out of his area, Jangana showing the urgency to play forward. Again, reloading into the area. Murat away. Chalebi's probably offside and will save his sprint in this situation. 3 minutes and change till the 90 minutes are expired in this match. Maybe we'll have a couple of minutes of added time. There's been a couple stoppages and a couple of yellow cards. Danso service. Sabovic away. Falls to Fall. Fall byline. Markovic clever enough to use his body to force him as tight as possible. Markovic needs another clearance. Cushion to the top of the box. Chorali, maybe a little push. But a clean one at that. As a substitution for Sandzak. As Chalebi, who has certainly ran himself into the ground. As the service comes in, Sabovic, Murat, advantage given, and a good one at that, as Murat is slowly getting up on his feet. Sabovic runs out of pitch. Chalebi, who getting applauded by his bench, his coaching staff, his teammates, after a great shift at the center forward position, replaced by Yassir Ahmed for some fresh legs. Smart move from Coach Hat to just press the first ball as Block FCR trying to make their way beyond this cleverly worked low block that Sandzak are producing. Free kick. Nifkovic screaming at his defenders, possibly to get in the same line. A couple feet inside the penalty area. Fall teases it in. Markovic appeals for a handball. A lot of appeals. Going to ground is Markovic. A shot. Did Nifkovic apply a fingertip? No is the answer. There's appeals for certainly the previous action. As Fall's delivery was wicked, asking questions. As possibly another substitution is needed for Sandzak, as Husanovic, excuse me, has gone down and feeling some cramp. Coach Had has entered the pitch with some liquids. also to passing some instruction on as well. He won't be replaced. He's just getting a swig of water. Nifkovic clears. We've entered the additional time here with the outside of the foot. Again, offside. 90 plus. We're at the discretion of the referee now how much he wants to add on. Possibly 2 or 3 minutes. Still time for at least one more action for block 2. Try to find the goal. Free kick given, and Nifkovic, understandably so, will take his time. Clearing his line, whatever result this will be for Sandzak. Their first points of the season in some minutes and or seconds if they can hold on. Danso. Yassir will find center midfielder neatly, spraying the ball to the right hand side. Exchanging, and that is the final whistle here at Randall's Island Field. 74. Sandzak begin the season with a big 3 points against Block FC, a game that was with a beautiful moment of quality. The first goal from Haris Sabovic in the second half after a scoreless first half, and Mirza Sabovic finding Sandzak's second in the second half as well. 2 goals coming in the second half. Sandzak with the great 3 points, a great way to begin the season for them after a hard-fought first half, finds 2 beautifully taken goals in the second. Final score here at Randall's Island Field, 74, Sandzak 2, Block FC 0.
From soccer fields across the USA to the legendary stadiums of Spain and Portugal, for 40 years, Petrobax has been the go-to expert for group travel to Spain and Portugal. We organize soccer group trips from start to finish, flights, hotels, transportation, and guided tours, all perfectly coordinated by our experienced team. Your trip can include attending La Liga and Portuguese Primeira Liga games, matches against local teams, pro training sessions, and even tournaments. As true experts in Spain and Portugal, we'll ensure you also experience the rich history, vibrant culture, and incredible food these countries are famous for. Celebrating 40 years of crafting unforgettable journeys to Spain and Portugal. Petrobax, your team, your passion, your trip to Spain and Portugal starts here.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The salt air case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
Welcome back, guys. I'm joined here by Yasir and Jalebi, two very important players for Sandzak's victory over Block FC today. The first game of the season, the first victory for Sandzak after a scoreless first half. Talk to me a little bit about the first half. It was a very intense game. Of course, Block FC are a newly promoted team from the second division. Try to give everything for the game. And at halftime, it was 0-0. What was said at halftime? Because we saw some tactical tweaks in the second half.
Basically just kind of stay back, let them kind of play out the back, and then take advantage of the space behind them. They're a great team. They put a lot of pressure on us in the beginning, so we realized just invite the pressure and then use it for the counter. And then we knew it was going to be a rough game, so tactically we knew it was just going to come down to a dogfight pretty much, especially with the conditions. So yeah, we came out with the dub.
I want to speak about also too your work rate, your work ethic. It's incredible the amount of sprints that I saw you do. I got tired watching you guys. But do you lead from example from the front, if you'd like, with the press, with the transition? Also too, when you guys scored the first and the second goal, you guys had a lot of opportunity in the transition. Is that something that's talked about as well?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like I'm the front line, so I kind of have to. Sometimes it gets confusing when to stay back, when to go, because a lot of guys yell in different directions. But overall, we have a very good idea what to do, and I realize that if I don't do it, then it looks weird on the rest of the team, and I have to play defense just like the rest of them.
Very well said. And let's talk about the back now. We spoke about the attacking options. Let's go with you, Yasir. You played at left full back. Defensively, always a great thing to begin the season with a clean sheet, no goals conceded. Block FC tried a couple times some different routes. What did you guys see at the back to quell their danger, if you'd like?
Well, like it was said in the halftime, we were going to sit back and absorb the pressure. We knew they have a lot of fast front guys, so anytime they play a through ball, we just read it before anything goes through. We didn't want no pressure building up out the back. We didn't want to lose our energy pressing forward because we knew that wasn't really going to work out. It was only the first game of the season. So we absorbed the pressure, cleared everything out, and luckily we got away with the clean sheet.
And of course, I'll ask you this question: the free kick. I'm sure maybe it looked great from all angles, but probably you had one of the better looks looking at it from behind. How much did that ball move? And I'm sure the answer is yes. Does he try that in training?
Absolutely not. Ethan never tries that in training. He just hit that with luck. I'm not gonna lie. I think the keeper should have saved it, but it was moving a lot.
It moved a lot.
It moved a lot. So
from our angle, it moved. We'll watch it back. Obviously, it moved 100 million directions, and most importantly, it was a very important goal at a very important time. And after that goal, of course, you guys defensively very sound, and you almost went to a low block, and they couldn't really break through the lines. And then you guys found your second goal off a set piece. The low block is a very important piece as well, right?
100%, especially now in this beginning of the season. We know it was when we got that first goal, we had to sit back. We didn't want to no clean sheet. We didn't want to ruin that clean sheet. And we played out the back very well under pressure. And again, we got away with the dub.
Very well said. Of course, first game of the season, it's always good to begin with 3 points in tricky conditions. I'm sure we'll discuss this many times throughout the season. Your goal for this 25-26 season is?
Obviously to win. I think that's been our goal for the last couple of years. A lot of frustration. I feel like we get very close very often, but this year we want to put our best effort forward and get the dub like always.
And of course, big 3 points. What next? How's the week looking? What are you guys looking forward to in the next? Because of course it's a very long season, as we know, and a lot of things can change. And you guys also missing a couple pieces today, which goes to show the strength of numbers and the rotation of the team, which is very good and immaculate at many times. So just talk to me about that.
Yeah, definitely still missing some guys, so we're definitely still incomplete. But overall, just a little tweaks and things. Guys just come back, so we're still a little rusty. But overall, just keeping the energy very focused and with our head forward at all times, because if we get frustrated early. For the last season, we faced a lot of pressure early. We lost to Celtic in one of the first games, and it was just extremely frustrating. So this year, we really want to just stay cool and enjoy our football for the most part, and like always, try to win.
Very well said, guys. Congrats. Big 3 points. Way to start the season.
thank you.
Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Sandzak 2, Block FC 0. First 3 points to the season, and of course, top of the table, Sandzak FC. Thank you guys for tuning in.